In a series of bizarre interviews, former Trump campaign aide Sam Nunburg said today he is willing to go to jail to avoid complying with special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. Nunburg called into the cable news 3 times today and appeared in person later on to explain his decision to refuse to appear before the grand jury. Here he is first talking on MSNBC.
You're going to defy a grand jury subpoena. Are you worried about being held in contempt of court?
Let's see what Mr. Mueller does.
Are you worried about getting arrested?
I think it would be funny if they arrested me.
If you're held in contempt of court, wouldn't you have higher legal bills?
It would be really funny if they wanted to arrest me, because I don't want to spend 80 hours going over emails I had with Steve Bannon and Roger Stone.
Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, Hope Hicks. Who else is on the list of emails that they want from you?
Oh, Katie, did I ever communicate with Carter Page? Do you think I communicated with Corey Lewandowski after November 1st, 2015? I mean, Corey was the one who screwed me over and got me fired from the campaign.
What about Keith Schiller? What about Michael Cohen? What about Donald Trump? What about those communications?
I mean, for them to ask me about communications with Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States, you know, Mr. Mueller, that is over the hill. That is too much for Mr. Mueller to ask for.
Sam,
it's ridiculous.
Sam, let me ask a question.
Nunburg was also asked if he thought the president had done something wrong during the election. Here's his response.
You sat there in that room being questioned by Mueller's investigators. I want to hear directly from you. Do you think that they have something on the president?
I think they may.
What?
I think that he may have done something during the election, but I don't know that for sure.
Why do you think that?
I can't explain that unless you were in there.
Explain the atmosphere.
The way they asked questions about anything I heard after I was fired from the campaign to the general election to even November 1, it insinuated to me that he may have done something.
If you got that sense from the special counsel's investigators, why would you not want to cooperate with them if you got a sense that something happened?
I'm not interested in handing all my emails over that I've communicated with Steve Bannon, with other people, and with Roger Stone. I'm not interested in it.
This is all just fascinating insight from an insider. At today's White House press conference, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders refuted his comments.
He's incorrect. As we've said many times before, there was no collusion with the Trump campaign. Anything further on what his actions are, he hasn't worked at the White House, so I certainly can't speak to him or the lack of knowledge that he clearly has. I'm not going to weigh into somebody that doesn't work at the White House. I can tell you from our perspective, we are fully cooperating with the Office of the Special Counsel. We're going to continue to do so. And I'll reiterate once again, the reason we are so comfortable doing so is because there is absolutely no collusion within the Trump campaign and any foreign government.
Nunburg sat in person for an interview on MSNBC about a half hour ago, and he came out and said he thought Sarah Sanders should shut her mouth. Now, it is important to note that Nunburg says he's not a fan of Trump's and that he and the campaign weren't especially close toward the end. He also speculated that his lawyer was going to dump him for doing these interviews. All right, so the Florida